Hi, I'm Rob Leffler. I'm the Vice President of Clinical Services for PCA Pharmacy. November is off to an amazing start for us. We wanted to share 3 quick tips about maximizing reimbursement under the patient-driven payment model, also known as PDPM. We'll put each tip into its own video for you, with today being our first in the series. Some of our customers seem pretty nervous, and why is that? Well, it's still too early to know what reimbursement is really going to look like because October's data is going to be inflated. That's because for the first 3 days of October, facilities were getting triple reimbursement for the non-therapy ancillary group on both new and continuing residents through all those interim payment assessments that had to be completed. I promised you the first of our 3 tips. Today is ICD-10 and diagnosis codes. I mention this all the time when I'm educating about PDPM, but it's so important to be thorough. You have to make sure they're complete. If you miss coding diagnoses, then that can mean less reimbursement. Here's an example I often think of that could easily be overlooked. An inhaler being used for shortness of breath. That shortness of breath may not be something that was readily turned into an ICD-10 code and put on the MDS prior to this, since it's an indication for a PRN medication. Our job may have been done before when making sure it's clear why the PRN was being used. But now, also having it on the ICD-10 list, indicating the underlying condition could change reimbursement. Perhaps that inhaler is actually indicative of COPD or asthma. Take credit for every diagnosis. Dive a little deeper into all the medications, especially your PRNs. Make sure you're receiving the payment you deserve. And by the way, that example of a COPD or asthma diagnosis gives you 2 extra points in the NTA group. Come back for another tip for maximizing your PDPM reimbursement from PCA Pharmacy.